because players lost in those days for the most part. It was the first year of arbitration. But I ended up making more money than I would have made if I had just signed the contract, and I certainly didn't get cut. And my thought was going in, I was upset that I lost the arbitration, but my thought was, well, time for me to go play now and see what happens. And the next year was pretty good, and I made more. And the next year was really pretty good, and I made more. And ultimately, that's the trajectory that happened. And it ended up in those negotiations over the next few years, it ended up costing Calvin hundreds of thousands of dollars before he finally traded me, because he kept trying to, he would offer me a deal. I would offer a little bit more in a 3-year deal. He would come back with less than what he originally offered. So I'd go 1 year at a time, make more money than I would have made in the first year of a 3-year deal. And every year got better until finally he had to give me a 4-year deal. It was the most he'd ever paid anybody ever, which was my ticket to be traded, the following year to the New York Yankees, because he wasn't going to, pay the full contract. But my point is just that players just need to play, and they need to play up to their ability, whatever it is, and things will work out. Yeah. They just will. And it's not personal. And this stuff about disrespecting or hurting the guy's feelings, or because he's such an integral part. I'd love to have him here. I don't care if he hits $190. He's just there's an excitement about him. Yeah. Every time he walks the plate, and all the time when he's in the outfield. There, there are 2 hits out of 10 that he gets, and every three hop ground ball to the infield. It's exciting with him. I'd love to watch him again, but for 20 or 25 games when his wrist is hurt and you can wrap him up another, it makes no sense. Yeah, I agree completely. Hey, let me tell you about Whizkids.tech. WHIZKIDS.tech. Minneapolis company, as so many of our sponsors are. They're located not far from here, but they can help you wherever your business happens to be located. They can be your chief technology ally, Michael Thanert, and the people who helped him start this company can help you with managed IT services, unified communications, and cloud services.
Hello, Minnesota sports fans. This is Michael Thanert, founder and CEO of WizKids. WizKids is a Minneapolis-based managed IT, hosted VoIP, and cloud services provider. Businesses today require fast response times, skilled support staff, clear communication, and technology recommendations that align with their business goals. At WizKids, we do this each and every day with our clients. When you call into our help desk for support or work with one of our higher-level engineers on a complex issue, you'll find our staff personable and ready to roll up their sleeves to help you solve your technology problems. Reach out to WizKids today to find out how we can help your business meet your technology goals. Visit us online at Whizkids.tech. That's Whizkids.tech. WizKids, make it happen.
The Sano saga has taken a strange turn. He looks to me like he's in great shape, and he's still not hitting.
Well, I don't think what kind of shape he was in ever was going to affect the way he could hit, positively or negatively. I think that his weight, his being in shape, will affect his play defensively and the longevity of his career. And I think those two things are very important to both him and to the Twins organization, or any organization he ends up being with. He's got, as Paul Mulder calls it, pitch recognition issues. Yeah. Where
that's a nice way to put it.
Where he's, Paul's amazing. I got to tell you, Paul's amazing. He's articulate as can be in baseball or non-baseball terms, subject matter. He is the most forthcoming manager I've ever heard, because I sit in on a lot of the meetings he has with the media. And he answers every question, and he gives thought to every question, and every answer is really well thought out, and it's absolutely honest. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like it.
I agree with you completely.
Well, you would know better than I, but I've never, ever seen anything like that. So for Paul to say, and he's got such a wonderful way of, when I say articulate, of explaining, describing, defining what's going on in the baseball field. And when he says that Miguel Sano is having trouble with pitch recognition, it's a wonderful phrase. And what that means is he is geared to the fastball, and he sees fastball out of the pitcher's hand and just assumes that's what it's going to be when it finally gets to the plate, and he starts swinging, halfway when the pitcher's halfway to the plate, and then all of a sudden, oops, it's something else. And I think the reason that he does that is because his hitting mechanics are such that he has trouble with a big league fastball from belt high and above. And when I say big league fastball, I'm talking 95 and more. And I think it's in the back of his mind he's got to be in a hurry, and has to. And when you're trying to pull the ball, you have to be in even more of a hurry. And so he just can't help what players call cheating on the fastball, which is I'm going to assume it's going to be a fastball, and I'm going to rush that big end of the bat out there, so I get it out there fully extended, and the ball goes to my pull field. And a number of things happen as a result. He's swinging a lot of bad pitches that we've seen him. The sliders away that everybody sees him, miss by a long ways, and then it confuses you a little bit. The angle of his approach to fastballs is a little late, and so then that bothers him. So he starts hurrying even more, and he's just in a spiral now where he cannot wait that extra tenth of a second. And believe me, it's possible to do for a hitter. It sounds ridiculous, but you only have 0.4, 0.5 seconds, whatever, from the time the ball leaves the pitcher's hand to when you have to make contact with it, or at least when you have to have made a decision about it. And guys are used to that speed, by now, and so a tenth of a second sounds like it's not long enough to be able to wait and discern, but it is because if it's only 20 or 25% of the total time that it's a big chunk of time that you have if you're talking about that kind of range of speed, right? So, we all as hitters, we all have had those issues where you just can't wait on the ball. You want to get the bat head out in front, and I'm raising my hand as the first guy to say, look, I've swung a lot of sliders in the dirt, and I was a switch, cheating on fastballs, and I was a switch hitter, and the ball was coming into me. It wasn't breaking away, so which makes it even harder for right-handed on right-handed, for example, in Sano's case. So, I get it, but at some point in time, I think something has to change because, maybe you should talk to Torrey Hunter. We saw Torrey Hunter do it for 2 or 3 years too. That slider in the outside part of the plate, he was missing like Sano does. And Torrey, to his great credit, figured out something to not do that. Some of it has to do with the fact, some of it is approach. It's not just mechanics. Some of it is approach. It's like, guess what? The guy may throw me one fastball that's the one is close to the one I want to hit. But most of the time, if I'm watching, he throws a high fastballs just to show me that I might get that, and then he throws a lot of breaking balls, and the next thing I know, I've swung at 3 of them, and I'm done. Maybe I should forget about the fastball for a while and just look for that breaking ball. Just look for it and hit that one over the fence. Or maybe I should not worry so much about that one inside fastball I might get that I want, or that one down the middle, one that I want to hit 800 feet to left field. Maybe I should forget about that one. Look for the fastball out over the plate. Try to hit it to right center, which, by the way, I have enough strength to hit the ball out of the ballpark to right center. And what will that do? Well, if I get that pitch, I'll hit it. With that approach, if he throws me a hanging breaking ball, I'll hit that one too. A lot of times what happens when you're in a rush to hit the fastball, you get hanging breaking balls and you've moved so quickly thinking it might be a fastball that your body freezes and you just take the ball that you could have hit 9 miles. You take it for strike one. It was a hanger that you just go, oh man, why didn't I swing at that one? Well, the reason is because I'm so sped up that I can't react accordingly. So I think there are things to be done, even if, even for him, that he needs to learn, even if it's not a total swing change, from where he's been. I think there needs to be some kind of changes in approach for him, because he has, again, tremendous talent. It would be a shame for him to say, I'm always going to just do it the way I've always done it and end up, there are going to be 25 or 30 balls and pitches that show up in a 600 or 550 plate appearance season that go over the fence. There's no question. what the question is do you want to hit 220 and hit 30 home runs, or do you want to hit 280 and hit 30 to 40? Because I don't think hitting higher for average for Miguel Sano, if he's going about it the right way, I think the home runs will increase, not decrease, and I think the batting average, that singles and doubles will increase as well.
You know who was a good college baseball player? Tony Hoaglund, Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. He handles my insurance. He handles Michael Russo's insurance. Michael, of course, is the star of our hockey show. Google Tony Hoaglund. Check out his business. He's located in Champlin, but you can work with him wherever he is, by app, by phone, by internet, whatever you like. He's been good to us. So check out Tony, Hoaglund.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoaglund. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
So other than Buxton Sano, what will you be watching for this September, either with the Twins or around baseball?
So I'm kind of, I shouldn't say I'm in the camp of the front office, but I am, if I look at it from a manager and a front office standpoint, I'm looking at probably every single position on the field except for left field, where Rosario is now ensconced. Mm-hmm. And probably Barrios and Gibson. Although with this caveat, I'm watching Gibson closely too, because I'm concerned about his velocity. Yeah. And I want to see him continue to make strides toward command of the fastball, because he hasn't had that the second half of the season, and for the most part. And so I'm watching for that, and I'm watching if Gibson continues to be the consistent starter that he's been. But I'm not worried about those positions. I just want to continue to see them with progress. Every other position, I think, is auditioning. Every single other one. Because we don't know what Sano's going to do. We don't know what Buxton's going to do yet. We don't know who Kepler is. Mm-hmm. Mitch Garver's made tremendous strides this year. Tremendous. I mean, I applaud him for how he has come on as a hitter, but even more so how much he's improved as a catcher and a receiver of the pitches and a signal caller. I think he's done a wonderful job. You don't know what Mauer's going to do. We don't know what Polanco's going to do. He is the poster child for the Twins. He had one phenomenal half of a season, and that's we don't know, right? So every place, and then we haven't even gotten to the starting staff and the bullpen. So I'm watching everybody the rest of the year and saying, do I see strides being made toward how this particular person is going to be better and be a part of the solution going forward, and not a continued question mark. That's every single one. I'm looking for Polanco offensively and defensively. I'm looking at Kepler. Is his approach any better when he Sano's back in the lineup? I'm looking for it's every single guy is boy, I hope he's the guy, and here's what I think we need to see a little bit more of for this particular guy. So I'll be watching those things. A great example is Taylor Rogers. Taylor Rogers now, all of a sudden, he's always been dominant against left-handers with that great curveball, breaking ball he has, but he has had trouble with right-handers. The last stretch of Taylor Rogers' appearances, he's been very much better against right-hand hitters. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you're looking for. It's like, okay, he's kind of moving ahead, and if he starts getting right-handers out consistently, he is going to be your eighth inning guy. Right. So it's that kind of thing that you're looking for. I know Taylor Rogers getting left-handers out. Is he just my left-handed batter matchup? Oh, hey, wait a minute. He's starting to command his fastball on both sides of the plate against right-handed hitters, and he's throwing a second breaking ball speed that seems to be confusing them a little bit. He's making some good strides. That's an example of the kind of thing that I'd be looking for all over the field.
let's wrap the show up with a musical selection or anything from the world of pop culture. This TV, movie, you can choose whatever you like. I do want to thank